listening to Speaking with One Voice with Rodney Payne. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, topics you'd like discussed on the show, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at rpayne@onevoiceinc.org. That's rpayne@onevoiceinc.org. You can also search for us on Acast, Google Play, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Just look for Speaking with One Voice. Now, here's your host, Rodney Payne.
Hello and welcome to Speaking with One Voice. I am your host, the coach, Rodney Payne. We are back with you again this week for a brand new episode of Speaking with One Voice, the podcast devoted to developing and adding value to you and your leadership team. Again, as always, thank you for continuing to support our podcast, to rate us, to like us, to share us, and to turn your notifications on and subscribe to us. Yes, we are on all of your major podcast platforms, as well as our very own YouTube channel at Rodney R. Payne. I want to thank you for that. Ask you to keep on going, keep on supporting, and let's keep growing our influence in this digital space. Now, listen, I've been talking about this for months, and we are getting very close, and I am super excited about what we're bringing to you right here in Oklahoma City, and that is Live to Lead Oklahoma City for 2025. What a time we are going to have. The date is October 9th. Mark your calendars right now and go get your tickets. RodneyRPayne.com/Live to Lead OKC. That's LIVE, the number 2, lead OKC. When you get there, you're going to be able to find out information on our speakers, who's going to be in our phenomenal lineup, and you can get your tickets right there. So make sure you do that today. I want you to be in the room. We're going to have giveaways. You're going to leave with strategy. You're going to leave with usable information, with plans. You're going to be able to go to the next level in your business and your leadership right away. So Live to Lead, a small investment, less than $100, you can get in the room, and I want to see you in the room, my friends. With that, how about we get started for today? I've got a thought I want to share with you as it relates to this opportunity that we have for you to be in the room. Today, I want to talk about why the room you're in is deciding the success that you're having, why the room you're in is deciding the success that you are having. See, what happens is we do a lot of things and we end up in a lot of places. But when you're in the wrong room, it can negatively impact your success. I heard it once said that when you sit down at your regular table where you hang out regularly and you look around the table, as you look around the table, look and you will see exactly what you are. In other words, when I was a kid, we said it like this: birds of a feather flock together. So if you're at a table who has time to chit chat all the time and not really do any work, not being productive, not growing, being satisfied or stagnant with status quo being okay, that's who you are. You can't hang out in that setting and expect to achieve greater things. Listen, you say you want to be better. You say you want the next level. You say you're ready. Well, if you're ready, my friend, you better look at the rooms you're in to make sure you're in the right room, because the wrong room will lead to the wrong result. I've got 5 things I want to share with you today that are going to help us to really make sure that we are in the right room for the right reason to experience the right success. The first thing is, what we have to understand is the power of environment. See, where you are is so important because it determines how you grow. So I want you to really look around at your surroundings, your influence, and look at how your mindset is in relation to where you are. Look at your behavior based on the environment that you're in. What happens is when we're in the right environment, it shapes the paths we take toward actually achieving our goals. So I really want you to think about this for a moment. Being in the right environment is going to give you the opportunity to grow. Think about that. If it's a plant, for instance, plants need a certain type of soil with a certain amount of nutrients. In addition to the soil and the nutrients, they need water. In addition to the water, they're also going to need light. So all of the right environment has to be there in order for the plant to become everything the plant is meant, designed, and intended to be. My friends, you as a leader, you're no different. You have to have the right soil. You have to have the right environment. You have to have the right amount of light. You have to have the right amount of nutrients to be able to grow. And the beautiful thing about leaders is we get to decide our environment. That's right. We get to decide where we want to be planted. So when you say, I am ready for the next level, what I want to ask you is your environment conducive to next level growth? Or are you in a status quo environment? In your environment, are you the biggest, the most successful? Are you the overall leader in your environment? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're at the top of the pile in your environment is too small and will not allow you to grow. As a young adult, moving out of the house and having my first apartment, I had this thing where I really loved fish, and I loved Oscars is what I liked. They were big and they were cannibal fish. They ate other fish. They were aggressive. They were part of the cichlid family, and I just loved them. And Oscars would get so big. They would be so big and beautiful, and they had that black and orange look to them, and I loved them. But one thing is, they would only grow to the size of the tank. Excuse me. So if you had a small tank, you would have a small Oscar because they would never outgrow their environment. What I'm saying is, are you in the right environment? Are you in the right environment? The power of environment. If you get in the right environment, I am always putting myself in rooms that, quite frankly, if I'm being honest, oftentimes I feel uncomfortable because the room is so big. But where I want to go requires me to be in a much larger room than I'm in. And so I'm always in an environment that will stretch me, that will compel me to go to the next level. Now, that's the power of environment. Number two is, I really want you to, I introduce this thing with a table, but I want you to talk, I want you to look deeper, and I want you to begin to assess your current room. Where do you currently live? And I want you to expand this thought, right? So when we talk about it, I want you to identify the various rooms in your life, your personal life, your professional life, your social life, and look at those areas. And when you begin to look at those areas, what I want you to do is I want you to uh, begin to evaluate how each room impacts your success, how each room impacts your emotional wellness, how each room impacts your physical health. Listen, I'm in some great rooms, and I have to be careful because some of my social rooms are just not good for my waistline. What do you mean? Well, sometimes if I'm hanging out with the guys and we want fried chicken wings, well, that kind of, I enjoy it. And put some good French fries with it. It's amazing. But for my personal physical health, it's not good for me. It makes me sluggish. It makes me lazy. So even that room, while it's a relaxation room, I have to be careful in that room. In my personal life, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of everything in my personal life to keep balance, positivity, and growth as a part of that room. Many times as leaders, we can get so micro focused on a specific area that we will neglect other areas. And a great leader is what I'm going to call a balanced leader. Now, balance is something that we don't really find as leaders, but I heard it explained like this one time, that I don't get everything done every day because I have so much to do, but I'm never bad at the same thing 2 days in a row. So when you're looking at this, you want to make sure that you take care of your personal room, your professional room, and your social room. And I know that many of us would like to put our personal growth in our professional room. But I've also heard it said, how we do anything is how we do everything. So personal growth is essential for you to have professional growth. Professional growth is essential for you to grow as a leader. And so social growth means that you don't have to stay in the same room or always be working to be valued. Your job is what you do, it's not who you are. So when you look at your current rooms, are they the right rooms? Is the right influence in that room? Are they helping you to grow and challenging you? Or are they causing you to regress? Are they causing you to become lazy? What's happening in the rooms you're in? Are you stretched? Do you go in rooms where you have to leave the room and have taken your notes and go and Google some terminology that you weren't familiar with? See, when you're in the right room will foster support, but it will also foster growth. So you want to be in the right room. So I want you to truly take an inventory of the top 3 to 5 rooms that you are currently in. Are they right for you? Are they the right place for you to be? Are they going to be additive to your success or not? What's going to happen if you stay in the rooms? Are you in rooms right now that will get you where you want to be? See, one of the things, let me talk to my entrepreneurs for a moment. When you're growing your business, typically an entrepreneur who finds success is ahead of the curve just a bit. And so you're chasing this level of success and accomplishment and accolade that's comfortable for you. Well, you get to a certain level and you plateau. But when you plateau, you are the kingpin, you are the big dog, you are the best in the room. Well, now we are at a challenge because in order to grow, you're going to have to get out of that room. We're going to talk about this a little more later on. You're going to have to get out of that room and go from being the top in the room to the least in the room. You got to go from telling everybody what to do in the room to not knowing anything and learning if you want that next level. Here over the past several years, I've experienced some great success in our business here, and we're really excited about it. But every time we grow, it's almost as if we start over. We have to go back to the bottom, but we're in the bottom of the next room up, which helps us to grow. I'm in one of those seasons now and things are happening for us and we're excited about that. But it doesn't happen for you until you're willing to assess your current room and be willing to get to the right room. You're listening to Speaking with One Voice with your host, the coach, Rodney Payne. As always, so glad to be with you here each and every week on Speaking with One Voice. As we're talking about rooms, there's a room you need to get in that will elevate your leadership. That's our Live to Lead room. Live to Lead Oklahoma City 2025 will be held at the Gathering Place at OKC Faith on October 9th. Tickets are less than $100. Simply go to rodneyrpayne.com/live to lead. And when you go there, what you'll do is you'll find out who's speaking and you'll find out how you can grow and why you want to be in that room. You want to get strategy. You want to get a plan. You want to be challenged. You want to be in a room that has some of the world's leading thought leaders in the room that are going to help us to grow. You need to be in that room. That room is happening October 9th right here in Oklahoma City. Let's get back to our thought for today. Why the room you're in is deciding the success you're having. If you're not having the success that you want to have, you're not in the right rooms. I've talked about the power of environment. I've talked about assessing your current room. Now let's talk about surrounding yourself with success. See, you have to understand, it's extremely important that you are around people who are successful. You are around people who are like-minded. You are around people who uplift you. You are around people who motivate you. See, what you want is you want to be a part of a place where there is a culture of success and there is accountability. There's that accountability word. It seems to come up every single week. Why? Because if you are not willing to be accountable, you'll never grow. So it's important who you are with, the types of people that you're with. And when you are a growing, emerging leader, when you are a leading CEO executive, you are a successful entrepreneur, and you are achieving high levels, there's not people like that. The question is are you in the room? Are you in the right room with the right people? See, what happens many times is competition will separate us. If you think about it, competition will put us in a position to where we get to this place and we're struggling because I can't collaborate with you. I can't share with you because you are my competition. Well, there are competitive rooms that you can't go in based on competition, but many times the people who are like-minded, they don't have to be in the same industry, but that like-mindedness that allows us to find common ground on success, on growing, on creating culture, and you can cross-pollinate ideas and learn from each other, and it creates success. Success breeds success. You've heard it said a million times. No person is an island. Everybody needs someone else. So when we talk about success, success comes from success. Why is it that we've heard this for years? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why is that? It's because rich people hang around people who are rich, and they learn ideas. They learn what to invest in. They learn what businesses are thriving. Poor people hang around poor people. And I have nothing against poor people. That's not the point of this. The point is the environment you are in, who you surround yourself with is where you're going to find your comfort level, and you're going to reproduce and recreate exactly what you're in. So I want you to think about this. Who are those closest to you? See, everyone who is with you, that starts with you, unfortunately will not be able to ascend with you. Some people are afraid of heights. Oh my goodness. Some people are just not willing to take that risk, invest and do the work and get to that next level. They'd rather stay at their own level and complain about those who are more successful. You don't want to surround yourself with mediocre talent that is okay with mediocrity. You got to have somebody around you who's growing, who is creating, who is doing what you want to do, what you see yourself doing. And then you want to have people around you who are willing to hold you accountable and be held accountable. Accountability is a two-way street, my friends. I am so passionate about this because I don't want people in my inner circle or close to me who will just say yes to me and won't hold me accountable. I want to be the one who first holds myself accountable, and I want to surround myself with people who don't mind telling me, Rodney, that is not a good idea. Coach, listen, you're not doing your best. Coach, that was good, and I know they loved it, but I know you've got better in you. I've got some dear friends and people in my circles that are willing to tell me, yes, that's good for a person who does it that way. I know what's in you. Do it again. Don't settle for okay for someone else or good to someone else. You want people around you that will demand that you produce according to the best of your ability. This is so exciting. So think about those who are around you, those who you spend time talking to, those who you spend time receiving information from. This is significant. You have to be around like-minded individuals who uplift you and motivate you. I have a few colleagues that I talk to on a regular basis. And I mean, when we get done with our lunch, our coffee, our phone call, I am ready to run through a brick wall and I can see the possibilities. Why? Because I am surrounded by success. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Let's get to number 4. I don't want to run out of time today. Listen, so we just talked about surrounding yourself with success. Now, what I want you to do is, in order to do what we're doing with others in rooms and in tables and at groups and having people around us, we also have to create a growth focused space. Now it's just as important what I do alone as it is what I do in the group. I got to get in the right rooms, but when I get in the right rooms, I have to be prepared. I just recently saw a story of an actor, and this actor was called to do a table read. They had a full-time job. The table read was in a different state, and they took off work to go be in a different city to do this table read. The actor tells a story that they didn't know what a table read was. So when they were sent the script to do a table read for a particular character, they learned, meaning memorized, every line of the entire script over a very short time, getting little sleep. So what they did was they put themselves in a place where they could focus. They needed to focus. And when they got to the table read, they were, everyone else had the scripts. They were reading the scripts because it's a table read. Well, that's why you call it a read. You don't have to memorize it. It's not it's a read. So this person gets totally into character, and they are doing it off of memory because they've learned the person before them's line, the person after them, and knowing exactly where their lines come in. As a result, they won the part. They go on to tell the story that they won the part because they were focused and prepared, but they were only there to do a table read. They weren't supposed to get the part. So as a result, they ended up getting paid on the back end. After the movie comes out, it's a huge success. They go to their mailbox. There's a $1 million check there because they had a space that they had created for growth. It was focused. They were ready when the opportunity came. We have to learn practical steps on how we can design that environment that creates a growth environment for us, gives us the place to be creative, allows us to focus, allows us to have purpose, and it drives us closer to our dreams. My question is, my friends, I'm excited today. How bad do you want it? Do you have a place that you commit yourself to? I hop in the studio week after week, and rarely is it convenient. I have so many things going on, but I am passionate about helping you to get there. Perhaps you can't afford a coach. Well, you just get this podcast and you got your host, the coach, Rodney Payne, right here. And I'm going to add value to you each and every week, my friend. I've got one more thought I want to share with you, and then we're going to get out of here for today. But it's important that you create a growth focused space. Get your growing room, get you a growing desk, get you a growing environment where you can grow. And finally, you have to make strategic room changes. That's what this is all about, my friends. You have to understand when you've outgrown a room. I know you're comfortable there. I know your friends and colleagues are there. But my friend, they don't want to go where you want to go. They don't want to build what you want to build. They don't have a purpose on their life that's as big as yours. So you've outgrown the room. So when there's negative in the room, or simply you've outgrown the room, you've got to be willing to release the rooms that you've outgrown, and then begin to look for new opportunities that align with your vision for success. You have to have your own vision for success. You have to decide what success looks like to you. In one of my courses, I asked the question, how do you define success? There is no one definition. There's no universal definition of success. Success is driven at the individual level. So my friend, I want you to make the right change at the right time. That's why I want to invite you to join me October 9th here in Oklahoma City. I want you in the room. Where do I want you? I want you at Live to Lead. Why? Because it's the right room. It's a strategic change. You will level up your leadership. Our keynote, our international host, of course, is John C. Maxwell, the #1 leadership guru in the world. I'll be your local host. I'm going to talk to you about some things about how to navigate your strategies to change your life and your business. I am so excited about this. This is happening October 9th. Go to my website, rodneyrpayne.com/live to lead, and get your tickets today. Get your entire team. Get in the room. We're going to have door prizes. We're going to have continental breakfast. We're going to have lunch, all included. It'll be 3/4 of a day, if you will, filled with opportunity to expand your vision and to give you the tools you need to find what you call success. Listen, I am super excited about this, and I want you in the room. Just remember, power of environment. Your environment matters. Assessing your current room. What room are you in? Surround yourself with success. Who's sitting at your table? Create a growth-focused space. Where do you get where you can grow? And then know when it's time to make a strategic room change. That's what I'm asking you to do. Listen, you've been listening to Speak with One Voice. I am your host, the coach, Rodney Payne. Thank you so much for being with us each and every week. I want you to lock us in. Make sure you're going to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is at Rodney R. Payne. Make sure that you're subscribed. Turn your notifications on. We want to stay connected to you. And get your tickets to Live to Lead. As always, it has been my pleasure to hang out with you. Thank you for investing in yourself, believing in yourself. I believe in you. I know you can do it. You have been listening to Speaking with One Voice with your host, Coach Rodney Payne. Until next time, my friends, let's keep growing together. Make it.
You've been listening to Speaking with One Voice. Please remember to follow Rodney Payne on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Rodney R. Payne. We'd love to hear from you and get your feedback, so please feel free to leave us comments. And if you would, rate and subscribe to the podcast, we'd appreciate that as well. Don't forget to set up for notifications so you can get the latest updates and social media posts and get new podcasts when they're released. As always, use the hashtag Speaking with One Voice or simply SWOV on any of your social media posts. On behalf of Rodney Payne,